What is the fastest way a room of happy people turned sour you've witnessed? Back when I waited tables, guy walking to his table, had a massive heart attack, and hit the floor. EMT said he was dead before he hit the floor. I've never seen a restaurant go so silent so quickly. When I was a kid, there were about 6 or 8 families in our area who were a good group of friends. Regular holidays together, kids all close friends too and in the same classes at school etc. The backstory was that one of the families kept noticing money going missing from a drawer in the master bedroom. They had an older son who was getting the blame but was denying it. Fast forward a few weeks and it's their younger kid's birthday, and everyone is at their house. Usual script was the kids' party would be late afternoon. Then in the evening the kids would end up playing games in some bedroom as the adults had a few drinks. Kids were happy because we got to stay up late with all our friends. Parents got to have a few guilt-free drinks. This night was going as normal until we're all shuffled out and home earlier than usual. We got the full story the next day. Once the kids were out of the way, the owners of the house had turned on their TV and pressed play on a video. On screen there was CCTV of the bedroom where the money had been going missing. Clearly in the video you could see the wife of one of the other couples, sitting in that very room, going into the drawer and taking money. Apparently they switched off the video, said what you saw is exactly what it looked like and asked that couple to leave. Everyone else left shortly after. My friend used to work for a company that has always promised our IT department a trip to Hawaii for working through a couple of rough years without pay raise, and on the flip side we won't get any personnel cut. It was a verbal promise that once we are back to profitable, the IT department would get all expense paid trip. Back around October of 2015, they were gathered in the largest meeting room for a meeting with the president. There were snacks, drinks, pizza, etc. It was assumed that it was a celebration for a good year and they'd get the promised trip. It was a mass layoff since IT has been outsourced. All credentials were locked during the meeting and everyone was asked to leave the premise right after the meeting. I was on a Chicago to NY flight. We all get on the plane, but were delayed taking off due to a heavy storm going on. About 20 minutes in, everybody was still pretty calm until the pilot announces they're working on getting our baggage loaded, because it's been sitting on the tarmac this entire time. The entire plane looks out, and sees all our luggage just sitting there in the pouring rain uncovered, and starts freaking out. The president of our company got completely plastered at our Christmas party. His speech started off funny because he was slurring hard and he was playing on it. Then he started talking about how he came from nothing and became something. Then he proceeded to tell us how if it wasn't for us working so hard and keeping our clients happy, he wouldn't have been able to accomplish building his mega mansion for him and his family, nor would he have been able to afford his new Benz. Awkward muttering, followed by him directing us to drink up and enjoy, because due to budget cuts, the future Christmas party/bonus budget is cancelled from here on out. Many of my co-workers relied on that bonus. No one was impressed. Except for one person, the rest of us quit within the first few months into the new year. I was watching Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon in a movie theater when it came out in the early 1970s. The projector died during a fight scene. Similar experience. I'd already seen Batman with Jack Nicholson as Joker. I went again with my uncle, not much older than me, and a few of his friends. Remember that scene where Joker, who has yet to be seen as Joker, is talking to the crime boss who tried to have him killed. The boss, Grissom, calls Joker Jack, his real name, and Joker responds with Jackstead. "You can call me," steps out of shadows for the big reveal, Joker. At Jackstead, everyone watched the film melt onto the camera. I laughed my ass off, but everyone there who hadn't already seen the movie lost their damn minds. I actually thought I was going to witness a riot. The other day, on Thanksgiving, my brother cracked a cold beer right as we were about to eat. Problem was, We were at my mom's and she's super anti-alcohol, unless she wants some. Well, since my brother cracked one, my dad did too, and my mom turned into some shit from The Exorcist. Screaming, cussing my dad and brother, hurling personal insults, looking for keys so she could threaten to leave, the whole 9 yards. The worst part is I haven't been up to see them in months, so I had just driven 3+ hours with my kids and my husband, and we had just gotten there 30 minutes prior. I just sat there awkwardly staring at my husband while the brawl took place until we could sneak out on the porch to hide. Then we all ate in silence. How was y'all's holiday? Whole company, 60+ people, gathered at a product unveiling/cheerleading event where we were expecting surprising news, bonuses.
Instead, we were informed that the least senior and biggest dickhead was promoted to partner. All downhill from there. Was on a team, about 15 people, for a special project for a regional internet service provider. During the bi-weekly team meeting, the manager was super pumped about how far ahead of schedule we were due to some new processes we came up with. After about 20 minutes of "atta boys," the manager concluded with telling us all we were being laid off in the same tone of voice she used for the whole meeting, issuing a bunch of praise. Most of us awkwardly laughed for a couple seconds thinking she was joking. She was not. Bride throwing up on herself and the dance floor during the first dance. She tried to hold it back, but the groom just pointed her towards the dance floor and she let her rip. Was impressive. Not my story, but a friend of mine was attending a Christian Pentecostal youth camps. The evening church services can get pretty lively and charged with emotion. People being slain in the Spirit, speaking in tongues, lots of worship and confessing sins. That sort of thing. There were probably a couple hundred students, so things may have gotten chaotic. Anyway, my friend and one of the other adult leaders get pulled on stage to confess sins to the audience. Not sure who thought this was a good idea, but maybe it wasn't planned. And the other adult leader, a nice guy in his 20s, newly married, confesses to the packed auditorium of high schoolers hyped up Jesus that he used to have sex with his dog. The evening service pretty much ended after that.